The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you discover why. This is a quote that I love, and it goes well with the theme that I'm going to be talking about today. So, most of my life growing up, I had no idea what my purpose was. I was actually even envious growing up at people that knew that they wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. And I'm like, how do you know? And I would just hope that like one day, like God would part the clouds and I would just get my answer. But that did not come. And I found myself like picking a major in college that made sense, business, and then afterwards going to the Air Force, which made sense because it would give me skills, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I've come to believe now that knowing your purpose is an extremely powerful life tool which can serve as a north star to aid you on your journey as you're traversing the currents of life. So my name is Jason Ramirez, and today I'm going to share with you a Japanese concept that's made a difference for me in helping me discover my purpose, and I feel confident that it will do the same for you, and it can increase the probability of you living a long, healthy, and fulfilled life. You ready to learn some more? Let's go. So now you're wondering, what is this concept? Well, it's called Ikigai. Ikigai. Like kind of like an Ikigai. And it's a Japanese concept and it refers to something that gives a purpose, gives a person a sense of purpose and a reason for living. And it's actually kind of two words combined, life and worth. So you can roughly think of it as your life's worth. Now, a cool thing worth noting is that this concept comes from Japan, and there's a city in Japan called Okinawa, like the same place that the Karate Kid was from. Some of y'all might not know. That's a little bit. I'm dating myself, but that's where that place played a role in the movie. So in Okinawa, it's a blue zone, which means people there have some of the lowest rates of chronic disease and they live really long. Like Okinawa has one of the highest rates of 100-year-olds in the world. And then the cool thing about this fact is Okinawans, they credit this concept Ikigai with being one of the reasons that they live long and healthy lives. Because in Okinawa, people actually don't usually retire, right? Like in the United States, like part of the culture is people just can't wait to retire and then just do nothing and play golf and sip margaritas on the beach. And in Okinawa, they actually see it way differently because they've allowed this concept of Ikigai to permeate their life. So they've already taken part in activities that they enjoy and that fulfill them and that they're in service to their communities with. So why would they want to retire and stop doing these things? So a nice way to sum up Ikigai is like almost think of it's the intersection of 4 points. And there's a TED talk by gentleman Tim Tamashiro that he discussed this, and I really liked it and felt compelled to borrow it and share it. So these four directions, the intersection of them is where your Ikigai can be said to be. So think about, as I'm sharing these, think about what they could mean for you. So the first one is, what is it that you love? The second one is, what are you good at? The third one is, what does the world need? And the fourth one is, what can you be rewarded for? And I really love this concept because it's not just saying just do what you love and that's it, right? Because at a certain point it's like doing what you love, what you're passionate about, but also that meeting with what is it that the world needs and what can you be compensated for, right? So that ideally you're doing what you love for a living and not just having to punch a clock just to earn resources to pay the bills. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story that can help provide a context for y'all as you kind of think through. So I've always loved personal development material. Like I had read the Celestine Prophecies at a young age and it just awoke something within inside of me. And ever since then, I was really into like personal development and spirituality. And I always saw it as a hobby. I didn't really think that it's something I could do full time. Or I thought one day in the future I could be a coach and a speaker. but I didn't really, I guess, believe in my abilities to do that for a living for the time being. So I'd say that's something that I love that helped me start realizing my Ikigai. And then next, what are you good at? So also, as I grew up, I always realized I always enjoyed inspiring people, like sharing concepts to help people. So I would like give my brother and my friends pep talks about why they needed to be really good in school, or if friends were having difficulties, I'd lend them a helping ear and just really want to support them. So I got to see, all right, so that's what I love, that's what I'm good at. And then what can I be rewarded for? Well, I've realized that in today's day and age, there's a lot of people that are looking for like a sense of purpose and navigating their way through life. And most of my life, I've consumed a bunch of personal development material. Tony Robbins has been one of my mentors. So I've like this plethora of knowledge, and I've been able to use it to construct and start to live a high performing life. So I get to see that sharing that with others and helping them on their journey to find their passions and next level their life is something I can be rewarded for. And then lastly, yeah, what does the world need? And I think that goes hand in hand, but I think right now we're at a nexus, like a turning point, like as a civilization, as a species, where the world really could use more people turned on following their bliss, like doing what they love doing and being in service to humanity. So as I start to put all those together, I start to realize, you know what? I get to be a coach. I get to be a speaker. I get to share my passion and my enthusiasm for these topics and helping others on their journey. And it's been so liberating once I actually gave myself permission to start expressing that and to share it and then actually to put it into practice. And it's amazing, like the magic that started to unfold in my life as I've started to embrace that and sharing it and living it and taking active steps. So I invite y'all to contemplate on those questions for yourself. And I'd like to share this one quote by Patanjali that I absolutely love, and it's a nice way to tie this up.
When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be.
I know that you get to have a lived experience of what this quote says. I felt glimpses of it in my life, and I know as I continue to step into my passion and my purpose, that I'm going to continue to unlock that magic that's lying within inside me. And I invite you to join me on this journey and do some contemplation and investigation because the world could use more people coming alive. Bless.